Alright. Oh, I'm actually missing something. Okay, one sec. Anyone know how I can find the beginning? Oh, find the beginning of a duty cycle. I know it's like faithful to the original, but that's why I'm getting like pops and stuff. I want to find like one crossover. That one. Cool. Now I need one in the back here. Oh, come on. Oh, can I please get... Look for snapping. I don't see one. Envelope. Yeah, the zero crossing, but I don't think you can't. I found the zero crossing here kind of, but you can't, like, it wants to snap. If I right click on there, can I do a thing? Obviously not. That would make too much sense. I can get one in here. Man, these must have been a pain in the ass to use. Yeah, there's no crossfade option. It's just loop and then back and forth loop. Which I guess, I don't know, adds to the authenticity of it. Maybe I'm asking too much. Yeah, what if I just loop the entire thing? What would that do? Move on to a different sound then. Click the 3D. Doesn't help. Looks cool though. Yeah, this is one of the first samplers. I like these sounds though. Here, let's just find a sound. Nice. Yeah. Okay. What's the VST? It's Arturia's it's called the CMI V, based on the Fairlight, which was something used back in the day, and I don't have a whole lot of patience for it right now. I'd like to get some more stuff going. Let's serum. Yeah, I'm just using Live 9 just for compatibility issues. Really bassy. Just, there we go. What am I doing? Turn up your ears, exactly. Thanks for the super chat, bro. $2. That's pretty gangster. Thank you very much. You can talk about whatever you want in the chat. Just don't talk about piracy. You can talk about anything else. Just don't talk about piracy. That's my rule. There's your warning. Yes, hi-hats are next. I'm not telling you what to do. You can do whatever you want. Just don't talk about that. You can do it, just don't talk about it. That's the rule. Yeah, you can talk about that. Just yeah, I've always had this rule, and you know, like the with any kind of comment or anything in the chat, it's like you can't like you can make fun of me and bully me all you want, but just don't bully other people in the chat, cuz I guess I'm the better target, and that's always been the rule, or the platform, I guess. Hey, scared me. Yeah, we're talking about gender equality. What happened? I'll take a look at. Hmm. Here, hold on. Let me save this. Uh, what should this one be called? That's what I want to know. I am a bit of a weird dude. That is true. I should be out partying right now. And call it piracy. Um, Mach 13. Okay. Something just got knocked over. Oh, I just sneezed. I almost died. Holy crap. I'm back though. I want to wrestle with this thing because it's old school. That's cool. Yeah, these are weird chord things. Yeah, they're really familiar sounds because you just look up Fairlight and there it is. Yeah, that is kind of what it is. You kind of like make things by accident. Uh, Holy crap, guys! I didn't know this many people would be watching. Just a chill, just a chill thing. You usually drink water at parties. I drink water whenever Rez tells me to. The synth is CMIV by Arturia. Yeah, this is the party. Should be. Thanks, Space Mom. That's funny. Yeah, Fairlight. It was let's look it up. Damn it, I keep on trying to copy this and it keeps on. Yeah, the Fairlight CMI. When did it come out? 1979. It was a digital synthesizer and sampler. One of the first of its kinds. And how much did it cost when it first came out? Price? Oh, okay, so 18,000 to 60,000 British pounds. How much is that in Celsius? Yeah, $31,000 in Canadian money. That's a lot of loonies. Smoke weed day. I haven't smoked weed in so long. Very chill. Uh, should I? Should I indulge in some combustible plant material? Actually, extend that a little bit. Just a little. I don't have any weird time signatures going on. For $1,000, I will go and get some weed right now. Raise your dollar. I'm just joking. um, the thing about ADHD medication is just creativity and divergent thinking goes out the window. So you'll be like really focused, but you'll be like, you'll just organize your sound. Like you won't do anything. That's what I find anyway. I tried. Yeah, it does turn you into a zombie. I've never done coke. I don't plan on it. That's like, I don't touch anything that can ruin your life. That's another one of my rules. Bang some meth. Well, now we're talking. Sounds like my kind of party. I think I need some percussion. Weed makes you creative. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, sometimes it's good to go without. Bruh. Nope. Where's the sample? Andy Dick did coke. Like, what's the fucking surprise there? It's unfortunate, but like, what's the surprise? Guy who does drugs did drugs. Looking for roommates. I don't know. Like, do you think that guy's like legitimately fucked up? I'm confused. Yeah, let's see how that sounds a little bit later. Okay, and auto pun. Nope. What am I doing? Saving. Oh, I just got a new Patreon. Patron on my Patreon. However you say it. How do you even say it? I am your stripper. Going 80s. Let's just go more 80s. If I can find it. Oh. Don't have it. That's okay. I really dislike this. Like, you can't even freaking see what's going on here. Please fix. What to do? Maybe I should move on. Cosplay? I'll cosplay as myself. I make a pretty good me when I cosplay. What happened to the album project? It's been in production since 2013, so that is quite a ways. Sadwick, a Polish surname? I believe it is. It's a toss-up between Ukrainian and Polish. There's, basically, when the Sadowicks pimped into North America from Hungary, or, you know, the Ukraine and Galicia, we came over here. We were farmers. We were seen as dirty, dirty people, dirty Catholics. And essentially, okay, here's the family history in Canada. The railroad cost a lot of money, and the government was going to go bankrupt because the railroad was so freaking expensive, and there needed to be communities along this massive railroad that went from Pennsylvania to Vancouver and then up to wherever it went. It was like, you know, the railroad in the early 1900s. So basically, we were promised land for really cheap in like this lush area and opportunities. We were going to get our dicks sucked. Like, it was going to be awesome. And basically, we went over through the boat, and there's like the manifest records or whatever. And there we are in like 1909 or something, and we couldn't even read or write. We were pretty stupid. So then we went onto the train, and we were on the train for a couple days, and basically, I'm a what? How rude. Basically, we settled in a place called Shell River, Manitoba, and it was just shitty swamp. And I'm getting distracted by these comments. I hope you're kidding. Yeah, no, Manitoba. Yeah, basically, yeah, we went there, and they're like, here's an axe. Have at her. And yeah, we basically had to, like, we were like pioneers. So then that was going on, and the Polish were there as well, and there was some intermingling, and I guess that's how I was made, you know, down the line. So there's, yeah, there's Polish baptism records, and yeah, there's like Polish names and Ukrainian names and Hungarian names. So yeah, Eastern European roots, I guess. And there was some First Nation shenanigans going on there, which was quite common. There were things called a country wife, and yeah. So moral of the story: Polish name. I guess if you looked at a chart, it would be like Ukrainian, Hungarian, Polish, and like a bit of British. No, not even British. A bit of German. My dad has German, and there's some other stuff going on in there which I won't get into, and some American Indian, I guess. I have a channel for that. I don't know what are you trying to. My sister's Jewish, not Jewish, Swedish. She's Swedish. Another daddy. I'm pretty sure I am, but I don't. I don't. I'm a white guy, but I know it's in there. I'm 90% sure it's in there, but I don't really represent as a native person because I'm maybe like 10%, 5%. There was some shenanigans going on there. No, I wasn't a Nazi in the woods. We escaped famine. I'm Irish too. Yeah, there's some Irish in there. That potato famine, guys. Sadwick's genealogy hour. Yeah. Well, I have like thick hair. I think that's where it comes from. And I guess the voice and the way of speaking. I don't freaking know. I don't really know. Yeah, I could get like DNA tested, but yeah, it doesn't really affect my day-to-day life. I choose not to identify as any one thing. I guess at the end of the day, I'm just a guy. I don't want to I don't bring ethnicity into things. But it's fun to talk about. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, there's some racism in Canada. Um Not like lynching mobs or anything, but there's some people that get treated, the short end of the stick, and I feel fortunate and lucky, and yeah, I appreciate. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, there's like, it's yeah, like race discussions. I don't I don't know how to take part. Um, it's like, there's talk about, you know, reconciliation, which I support, but it's kind of like, you know, the one thing that bothers me, and this is not related to ethnicity at all, is when someone's gay, they have like this weird obligation to be out. And I don't think that people are required to be out. It's like, blah, blah, so and so is in the closet. Oh, so and so came out. Like, you don't have to, there shouldn't be any kind of social obligation to be out. You should just be whoever the fuck you want to be. You don't owe it to people. It's kind of like, Yeah, I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about, but essentially, yeah, like we have a lot of kind of a growing pain situation going on here, where we might how we look back and we look at slavery, for example. Slavery was seen as good for the slaves. Like if they were freed, they would be helpless and they'd starve. Like they wouldn't know how to take care of themselves. That was the general accepted idea of the day. There's actually a disorder in the DSM, I think, or like there was a psychiatric condition where where if slaves wanted to be free, it was like a mental disorder, basically. So no, I'm not high, by the way. So I'm just always aware of the things that we do now in 20 or 10 or 30 years. We'll look back and cringe. You know what I mean? Like we'll cringe at our, you know, how we treat gay people now, and LGBT community. It's like, you know, yeah, maybe I'm going off topic. Am I woke? Apparently, I'm not allowed to say that. I'm just along for the ride until I die. And I'm on my second life right now. A lot of people only have one. I'm on life number 2, which is pretty cool. And I appreciate it. But I'm always looking at the outside and evaluating and observing. I'm observing humans in a way that, someone would observe a bunch of hamsters in a cage. And I don't mean that condescending because I include myself in the hamster cage, but I don't, I don't do things that a lot of normal people do. But I believe in numerology, astrology, and that sort of stuff. Nope. My first life, I almost killed myself. A couple years ago, 2013. I was really depressed. I almost ended it. I was very close. And yeah, I guess I'm glad I didn't. And yeah, life number 2. Yeah, that's basically what I'm calling it. And life number 2 is kind of like, you ever seen the movie like Yes, the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey? I was just like, I'm just gonna say yes all the time. I'm not the second life. I'm never gonna compromise on anything. And I got a divorce, and I moved on slowly, and I had some medical intervention, which was really helpful. And how did I get over it? Well, basically, the depression story is it was occurring from 2009 to 2013. And what happened was is I thought I had a like I thought I had diabetes. I thought I had something called hemochromatosis. I was so devastatingly tired. You would not believe. It got to the point where I couldn't lift my hands, and I would take like one breath every 10 seconds, and I couldn't move, and it was so much effort to like focus my eyes on something. It was pretty bad, and it got to the point where I'm just like, okay, I gotta go. And they looked at me and they're like, you don't have diabetes. I can see by looking at you. Let's give you some blood work or whatever. And I got everything. Boom, 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 boom. HIV test, diabetes, my potassium, iron levels, you know, um, all that shit. And I came in, and they're just like, yeah, your blood work is good. The only thing is your potassium's a little low, but that's not a super big deal. You know, it was probably that day or whatever. Anyway, and yeah, it was a doctor who said uh, the words to me. His name is Dr. McConville, and he saved my life. I have him right here. I still have his business card. I'll never fucking lose it. He said, he started asking me these questions. He asked me question that he had like a piece. He had it on his phone. It was the Pfizer PH9Q test. Is it PH9Q? Is that the patient health questionnaire for mood disorders? Everyone look up PH9Q. Oh, the first one's not found. PHQ9. Sorry. It looks like this right here, and I think this one is updated. Basically, you answer all these questions. Yeah, I did get my testosterone checked as well. I got everything checked. I was like, something is wrong with me. So you answer all these, and you know, you answer it by like nearly every day, everything extremely difficult. And he's asking me these. I'm like, why are you asking me these? And basically, I had the highest number that you can get. And yeah, this warrants treatment for depression using antidepressant psychotherapy in combination and treatment. And he said, you're depressed. And I was like, actually kind of like shocked. And I was shocked and insulted and embarrassed. And my wife was there at the time. And I was like, and he, you know, explained to me, he's like, we're just going to start you out. I think you have, I think you have depression. I'm going to start you out with a senior's dose of basically Prozac. I was on Prozac, and I was like on the smallest dose. Just, you know, he says, take this. Let's see what's going on. And then that didn't work. And then he upped it. And then that didn't work. And then they upped it. And it worked a little bit. And then it kind of stagnated. And I was still like in that 20 number, that number 20. Then I was like, I can't fucking, you know. And this is how bad it was. How bad it was just like, if I knew I had a doctor's appointment, because I was seeing him every week, if I knew I had a doctor's appointment, I wouldn't be able to go unless I slept the whole previous day and then all night. And then I would have like a 2-hour window that I would be able to be awake. And then I go to the thing and I come back and I'd sleep. I was just sleeping all the time. And you'd notice like a gap in my my uploads. Let me just try to find mood. So what happened? Okay, here's this one. Okay. I'm just going to see if this has anything like an address or anything like that. Okay, so then that worked. Yeah, Mark Jackson, I'm going to let that comment go through. You say, fuck drugs for depression. Honestly, find the root cause. That's a good way to go about it. But there's different levels of depression, and yeah, don't underestimate the power of medical intervention. And yeah, I can tell from my personal experience that it really helped me. Anyway, so then the Prozac worked a little bit, so then they augmented it with a antipsychotic, and I was like, So how this antipsychotic works is it can, so instead of raising the Prozac dosage way too high, you get more side effects. So instead, you introduce another drug at a low volume, I guess, a low dose. And what that does is that's like, with drugs, it's a 1 + 1 = 3 kind of situation. And you'll know if you've ever been stoned and been drunk. A drug-drug interaction is not 1 + 1. It's like, it's 1 + 1 and it equals 3. So it's more powerful without the side effects. So how this antipsychotic worked is at low dosages, it boosts dopamine levels. At high dosages, it lowers dopamine levels, and that's how you treat schizophrenia and stuff like that. Completely high efficacy rating, etc., etc. And no, it wasn't thiamine. It was I'm not really sure which one it was. I can't remember. I did that, and that didn't work. So then he's like, "Okay, we've exhausted everything as a clinic. Me, you need to go see someone who knows what they're doing." And I went to a place, and I wasn't in the best of spirits. And this is, let me just try to open this. Open with Google Docs, I guess. Let's do that. Give me a second. It wasn't Seroquel. I'll try to find out what it is. Augmentation. What's the augmentation? It's Abilify. Abilify, that's it. Aripiprazole, whatever. Yeah, I was on Abilify. And, whatever. Didn't really kick it. So I'm gonna show you guys something. And this was June 3rd, 2014. And this was like a pretty bad time. And let me just get rid of some information here. I'll just get rid of some information. And yeah, her name's Judy Allen. She's freaking amazing. Okay, I don't know if you guys are interested in this. No one's really left the channel. I still have a bunch of viewers. So basically, I went there. I went to the high up building of where you go. Like, people come from all over BC to go to this place. It's the Mood Disorder Association of BC. Ketamine. I didn't try ketamine. Anyway, I took out my date of birth for some reason. So they took me in, and basically, this 26-year-old married man, self-employed music producer living in Vancouver with his spouse, who tells me that he has a depression that is treatment resistant. So from that, they tend to downplay things. I wasn't in the best spot. I thought that nothing was going to help me, and I was going to be, completely fucked up for a very long time. So he was diagnosed with panic disorder and depression when he was approximately age 16. He saw a psychiatrist at that time. He did not take medications. He had a 3-month period of very typical spontaneous panic attacks that occurred very frequently. However, he has rarely had panic attacks since, only if he has too much cannabis. Yes, too much cannabis. He also endorses symptoms in keeping with generalized anxiety disorder as a teenager, but again says that he has not been a problem in adult life, and that's true. And yeah, Shane Stevens, the reason why is because there's a massive fucking stigma about this shit, and we had a stigma about AIDS and people were dying, and we have a stigma about mental health and no one's fucking talking about this shit. So yeah, that's why I've always kind of been open about it. And someone brought it up, so there you go. He also says that he has never been well since age 14, but his depressive symptoms have been at their worst since last December. He says that his mood is not depressed, but he does not have any interest in things. He is oversleeping. That is a freaking understatement. He has a diminished appetite, but there has been no weight loss. He gets some exercise. His energy and concentration are low, but he denies any suicidal thoughts. That's not true at all. Yeah, there was a shame about that. He denies any other episodes with significant depressive symptomology in the past. Usually says that he feels relaxed. He sleeps 8 hours. His energy is always low. His appetite is usually low, and at times he can get interest in things, but he has never had suicidal thoughts. He also denies that any symptoms in keeping with mania. That's true. He denies symptoms in keeping with social anxiety disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, or psychosis. And yeah, I have a bit of social anxiety disorder, really, but you know, it's not that bad. You know what I mean? Um, he has been a chronic daily user of marijuana until the last 3 months. He rarely uses marijuana now, and he has also cut out caffeinated beverages. This is all true. He denies alcohol use. He has rarely used other drugs in the past. He has been prescribed Prozac in January and now takes 40 milligrams without any appreciable benefit. Cytomel was added. Oh, yeah, I was on thyroid medication for a little bit too. Um, uh, it was added in the last 3 days, and he feels his energy is better. His appetite has increased, and he has diminished need for sleep. There was a point where I got a little bit better, but the thyroid medication doesn't, whatever. He has never tried any other antidepressants. He had some counseling when he was a teenager. That's true. His father had a lengthy blah 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 blah. He only takes Prozac and Cytomel. He was born in northern, yeah. So basically, there is that. Basically, she reassured me that the depression is a very treatable illness, which it is. I gave him, yeah, there was information on how to take a psychologist, and there was talk about cognitive behavioral therapy, and you should get more aerobic exercise, and that is very powerful and very important to do. And yeah, basically saying that I'm certainly able to try it. So the diagnosis: past history of general anxiety and panic disorder, major depressive episode. That's what was occurring, and there's an email there. So basically, that occurred, and you know, I got that in my email, and from then it just spiraled, and I was like, this is fucking stupid. So, you know, a major crisis occurred, and I was going there and nothing was working. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to take my own health into my own hands. And I went there armed with the research, and I was like, I want this dose of this drug, and I want it now. And basically at that point, like you're in group therapy sessions, or they're called group medical visits, actually, not therapy. Group medical visits, where you got a bunch of people with the same thing, and you talk about your symptoms, and you hand in your thing and your notes or whatever, and then she reads it in front of everyone, and then she talks about your drug. So it just basically prevents the doctor from repeating the same thing to multiple people, and that saves time. And a doctor can see more patients throughout the day, which is pretty freaking cool. So yeah, this place is like the worst of the worst. You're in a freaking room with a bunch of people who fucking get it. And yeah, I basically was like, I'm gonna give this one more fucking try. One more try. And I knew exactly what my symptoms were that were bothering me. It was a psychomotor retardation, which is like the not being able to move shit. And I was like, I want this, and I want this for my concentration. And, you know, and I asked for it, and she's like, all right. Because once you're at that point, you basically taken your health. This consumes you. You know exactly what you want, and they're willing to give anything a try. You could be like, I want black tar heroin as my prescription for my depression. I think this would be pretty good for me, and they probably do it. I'm actually joking. So, yeah, basically that happened, and I got better, and then I went off it, and I got my life sorted, and here I am. And I think I'm a better person because of it. That was a lovely story. A little note about ADHD, and SSRIs are a bitch. They can be. It's like it's not a like a one drug fixes one issue. You got to try certain things. And so yeah, the thing about ADHD is when I got out of the depression, my ADHD symptoms, I have ADD actually. They got worse. Like they're more amplified when you get out of that depression. So after I got out of the depression, I had all these freaking I couldn't fucking concentrate and I was like bouncing off the walls and shit. In my head, I wasn't able to do anything. And like, yeah, you'll notice a gap in my videos. I wasn't doing much. It was very difficult to even talk. And I remember I was like streaming and I would just lose all concentration and I would slur my words and I'd forget how to fucking talk. I couldn't say words like compression. I couldn't say compression. I would say compression. I couldn't speak. And that is neurological. That is the test of like you don't have enough of a particular brain chemical to make those connections to say a word or to make your mouth move in a particular way. And it's safe to say I have it now, and I have a lifestyle that works for me. Yeah. There's a lot of like armchair psychiatrists in the chat right now, and a lot of people who don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, just like I'm entitled to mine. And I think there's been enough research on drugs and their efficacy, and it's just a bunch of Scientologist propaganda that you're listening to. A lot of the anti-pharmaceutical stuff is Scientology. So there you go. Does music cheer you up? I like creating. Creating gives me a dopamine drip, a natural dopamine drip, and that's what I like. That's what I like to do. I also like to, do neat things and hang out and talk on the internet. ADHD might be overprescribed. It could be a dietary thing. I don't know. But I'm not a doctor and I'm not going to diagnose people. And yeah, that's it. That's all there is. Do you listen to new music a lot? I've been on Spotify a lot. I listen to a lot of new music on Spotify. Yeah. Yeah, and antidepressants, it's it's like, if you have, and this is where I agree and I take into account lifestyle and dietary changes to treat depression. Say if you have high blood pressure or something, right? You know, depending on what your doctor advises you, you could take the heart medication pill if it's bad, or they could be like, hey, this is something you might want to look at. You might want to start eating more salads and like see a nutritionalist, and take out, salt, et cetera, et cetera. There's different ways to manage different things, and there's different severity. There's a difference between, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, I'm not a freaking doctor, and you should see a real physician. But in my opinion, and from what I've seen, meeting people just like me at that point is, there's a difference between, loss of a job, a loved one, being bummed, not getting enough sunlight or whatever. There's a difference between that depression and the depression where your brain essentially stops working and you can't move. It's all depression, but one is clinical, where this person's in really fucking serious trouble, and the other one is give it a week, give your mother a call, do whatever, and eventually your brain will adapt and you'll come out of it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Kids today do have a lot of terrible attention spans, and that's because devices are so easy to see and look at, and it's like things on demand. It's like when I was a kid, had to like watch TV and wait for it to play Power Rangers. You couldn't just watch that on demand. The idea of that, I couldn't fathom. Yeah, a doctor is not God. I saw a few professional opinions, and I think you should. I like No Man and stuff. He's pretty cool. He or she. Yeah, it's true that pharmaceuticals are here to make a profit, but there's, research, double blind stuff. Yeah. Don't don't take your epilepsy medication because big pharma. I had good doctors. I had a few ones that were just like, I don't know what's wrong with you. Okay, let's talk about something else. This was 2004, and I was a lad, and I had a full blown fucking panic attack. For some reason, I just started fucking hallucinating. Like, I got tunnel vision, like sweat dripping off my fingers and down my face or whatever, and I thought I was dying. And I went to the emergency room. And guess what they said? I'll give you guys a couple seconds. One second, I got a thing. Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. I just had an emergency phone call. Um, Not too long ago, doctors recommended tobacco. Now it's bad. Once butter was good, now saturated fat will kill you. Sheep will believe anything. You know why doctors don't recommend tobacco anymore? And why we don't stick leeches on people? We don't drain their blood? Do you know why we don't do that? Because the fucking scientific method dictates what efficacy things have. Tobacco has a very low efficacy rate. Yeah, and there's. Anyway. So, what I was talking about is. Because Ableton, exactly. Ableton. Um. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, my first panic attack. I went to the hospital. I was sweating. You would know a panic attack if you saw one. And, they stuck stickers on me and they got all my vitals, whatever, and I came back clean. And like after that, all it took was a doctor to say, "Hey, I think you had a panic attack." Blah 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 blah. No, this fucking asshole said definitively that I was on drugs essentially, and I needed counseling because of my drug addiction. You know what that does when you're having an anxiety attack and you think you've been dosed. The doctor tells you that you've been dosed. Anyway, fuck that guy. Dr. Dick. uh, I did have a terrible doctor, and he wasn't just a doctor, he was an emergency room physician who a kid came in having an anxiety attack and couldn't he wasn't prepared, he didn't even know what it was. So, fuck that guy. Yeah, he told my grandmother who's passed away that your grandson, he took some drugs. I don't know what it is, but he needs counseling. And then the blood test came back. They did an emergency blood test to see if I had like an infection or something like that. And then they came a little bit later, and I went to go see the doctor. A couple days later, he's like, "Yeah, he's just all negative. There's nothing in there. No drugs in the system. Not even weed. Like I was clean as a whistle." So I bet that guy felt terrible. Yeah, like I don't know, like doesn't an ER have like a psychiatrist on call or something? Anyway. Yeah. I'm going to a party tonight. Hooray. Ableton is an amazing antidepressant. Yes. Creating things and having purpose, and every time you make something that's cool, your self-esteem goes up. I'm not gonna sit here and be like you absolutely need drugs every time. Medication. No, you can do whatever. Just take control of your own health. That's important. Yeah, a few hundred years ago, people thought mental illnesses were satanic possessions. That is weird. Is that yeah? That just made sense. But through the magic of all the research that's been happening the last couple hundred years, and especially the research in mental health in the last 50 years, it's just yeah, it's just the magic, the not the magic, the essence and beauty of science. You know, science doesn't give a fuck who you are, what corporation you are. You can't fuck with data unless you're the climate. This climate change isn't happening. Oh, but it is. But it's not caused by humans. Why are we talking about panic attack? I'm just going over my mental health history. Yeah, edge lords. Yeah, no, absolutely. You should always question everything, but integrate things that are contrary to your worldview that you've established. So, yeah, big pharma. I don't even know what the fuck that means. What does big pharma mean? What does that even mean? Yeah, mental health research is just, you know what, guys? The miracle of science. The miracle of science. You go and you look up all the new cancer drugs that are being developed right now, there's a breakthrough every week. People's lives are being saved, and there's some really smart people. I didn't say that. Why do I think climate change, global warming is not because of humans? I didn't say that. I'm parroting what people are saying. It's like, you know what I mean? I actually haven't looked at all the research, so I don't fucking know. But it looks like there's a bunch of bad shit in the air. Yeah. Hmm. Uh, the pharmaceutical industry is like it runs the medical industry. Okay. You must live in a place where healthcare isn't universal. There's no snow in Sweden. Oh, geez. That's not a good time. There's no snow here. We had like two days of snow, and that was it. Yeah. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Thanks for watching, guys. It's a Friday, and I started the stream with nothing to do, and now I have been invited. I'm a valuable member of my community. They want to hang out with me and stuff. I might be off in a sec. I gotta go dig out a flashlight. Can you pull up a track? Pulling up a track. I'm still working on music, dude, but we got something going on. I got my clipboard. It says words on it. Back to the NAM videos. Oh, I wish I would have went, but it's just too many things happening right now. You'll hear it. Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff going on. I'm gonna be a music performer now. Ableton 10 release date, February 6th. Can I scream into the mic before I leave? No. I don't wanna. Oh man, I want burritos. Burritos would be dope. Thank you guys. Thanks so much for watching. What type of music? It's a secret, but you'll find out soon enough. It's definitely not related to anything that I've been making on stream. Nope, not at all. No relations. And it's a Friday, guys. Moral of the story. If you're depressed, just actually, you know what? Email me. Think I have my email posted somewhere. There. I like how that did that. Anyway, thank you for the watching situations. Yeah, take that patient health questionnaire 9 and how long does it take me to finish a track? It could take a year, it could take 3 hours. Patient health questionnaire. I think that's how you spell it. But really, you're not going to be able to do much with that information. But that's what the doctor is going to ask you. That's my experience from the whole thing. And yeah, I don't know, just know that I've been in the deep. I've been in really deep waters. And I've been pretty freaking good the last couple years. So, boom. And you know what? If I can do it, anyone can. And I don't say that enough on this channel. But I really should. I should just stand on top of the house with a megaphone and say, you can do what I'm doing. And it's fun. And it just takes a little bit of hard work and you're off to the races. And, you know, from someone who didn't really speak as a kid and, you know, dropped out of high school and, you know, has social anxiety and shit like that, I can do it. You can do it. And yeah, I represent a lot of people, I think. And yeah, just do it. The Shia LaBeouf, when he's just like, just do it. That's what I'm saying. You know? It's like, don't quit smoking next week. Quit right now. Why wait next week? And don't say, I'm quitting smoking. Say, I am a non-smoker starting now. Just as an example, that's how I quit smoking. Right? And yeah, it's just life is this weird experience and gift. And we all kind of navigate through it in a way, in our own way. Some people want to be academics. Some people want to be doctors. Some people want to be a fireman. Some people are happy to hold a shovel all day. Some people are happy to drive the forklift. But us, my brethren on this channel, we want to do something else, even if it's just a hobby. And it should be. It should be. I had an experience. Someone had watched my videos and figured out how to do something. And the confidence that he had that day was like amazing, apparently. Like, and it propagates out, because he said, I had an amazing experience watching your videos. I figured out something and I did something that I didn't know how to do, but you explained in such a way that I was able to do it, blah, blah, blah. And then I went out with my girlfriend, I took her out and I tipped the waitress or whatever, and it propagated outwards. And, you know, that's all that's all that I hope to do. Like I'm not gonna be, you know, headlining huge stages and shit like that. But I want to contribute to the genre of music that I like and that I've liked since I was a youngin, since I was 12. Back when techno music was seen as gay, I was called a faggot. I was bullied, but I was like, "Fuck you! I like this music for some reason. I'm gonna make it one day. I want to be one of those guys. I want to release vinyl. I want to be on a CD compilation that I can get in HMV. HMV's not around anymore, but the same idea applies. All I've wanted to be was one of those guys. And even if I'm in my little studio doing that, and I contribute in such a way that people can, you know, achieve their dreams. And there's been a few examples. I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but there's been a few people that I've helped them maybe 5%, and they're like, "Oh, that's how you do that. All right, I can take this the rest of the way." That's what I want to do. My second life's goal. And yeah, and just do fun shit. Yeah, I want to just, I know someone who can't create because they're worried about what people will think. They don't want to show what they've made because they're scared. And I don't think that's good. Anyway, I gotta go. I gotta charge my flashlight. And thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in, and take care. Have a good Friday and a good weekend and things. All right, bye.